All right. Welcome to the 251 Connection. We are connecting business owners and community leaders with the audience here in the 251 area code. Today we have Amanda Glass. She is the owner of the ACE in Loxley Performing Arts Center. And her partner, who is not here, is Eddie Duncan. He is a very big part of that as well. We have a person watching live, which is Amanda's husband and her rock. And so we did some pre-interview questions and kind of got to know Amanda. She comes to us from Pensacola, which isn't that far away. She graduated from PJC, Pensacola Junior College. She went to the police academy and was a police officer for 5 years before becoming a victim advocate and working in human services at the Lighthouse, which is what she currently does. And the ACE came about through the need for the community to have affordable theater. So, and Amanda, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the ACE.
Yeah, sure. About a year ago, right out a year ago, November 1st will be our year anniversary.
November 1st.
November
Okay,
1st.
That's great.
We were directing another show, Eddie and I, and for a different company, and we were having a lot of fun, and we realized that we were missing a huge part, a huge region, and a huge part to what the community needed, because the fees were so high in getting with the children participating in community theater. So what our idea was to relocate and pull that community theater down to Loxley, which we did, or which we set out to do. So we approached the council and we asked permission to kind of relocate to Loxley. And of course, they were on board and gave us permission to kind of make our headquarters out here. And when
Great job, Loxley. Thank you.
Yes,
we really appreciate it.
Yeah. We are so appreciative of that. And so we did, and we opened the ACE a year ago with two children. Two children came with us, and we stuck them up on a parade floats, and we started out in the parades. That was our first thing that we did.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we handed out flyers, anything to kind of get started. And we had to start our first show. Okay. And we kind of got going, and we set out. And the very first show, we kind of had nothing. We had no sponsors, no funding, it was just us.
Yeah.
Who kind of had this idea. Loxley was already behind us, but other than that, it was just
you
us.
doing it. Yeah, and it's, so for most small business owners, the hardest part is the first year.
Yes.
And then getting your name out there, getting your company out there. So I guess you're saying you did parades and things as a way to kind of just get your name out there, get the idea out there.
Let people know that we were here, we were in the community, and we were able to, at that point, get enough to cast our first show. And in doing so, immediately we were able to pull down that cost to about 25% of what everybody, what other theaters were charging. So
Got
we
you.
were
So for you, and this came from a need. You have 5 children.
I have 5 children.
Okay, and you had a couple that wanted to do theater.
Yes.
And the cost for theater, even here in Baldwin County and the 251 is astronomical.
It is
for even for the children.
Yes, for one, especially if you have multiple children wanting to be involved, and it's so expensive.
So this actually was born of a need. You
yes.
saw a need, said, "Hey, I have 2 children. If it's this expensive for me, imagine."
Yes.
What it is for other families.
Right,
okay.
Right. This whole demographic was completely just being missed.
Yeah.
And it was horrible, and it was such a large demographic that it was working. I mean, we have two jobs. We have we have two jobs, but we also have 5 kids, 5 children. So anything times multiple children is you have to budget, and see what it is. So when you get sports involved and everything else, you want to make sure that you're trying to set your money where you're getting.
And it's hard to tell the kids no.
Right.
They want to do something.
Absolutely.
They want to, and you're proud of them. You want them to perform.
Absolutely.
You want them to be involved in sports and stuff. So,
right. And what child does not want to be a star?
There you go.
I mean, what 5-year-old little girl or little boy has not said, I can
attest to that.
You have little girls.
I have little girls, and yes, they definitely want to, be in theater and things like that.
And so we did not. It was kind of, we did not want there to be. And I grew up in community theater, a true community theater where money was not. It was not a money thing.
Sure.
It was a community theater where sweat equity is where we. That's where we paid our money, and we lived there. Yeah. We lived there. We made families there.
But what you get, so from what I see, what you get when you have a community theater that's not driven by money, is the people that are involved, are passionate, and they're there. They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it because they enjoy it.
That's right.
It makes a difference.
We have so far, we have a phenomenal right now parent auxiliary who has come in, and anytime we need help, I mean, the
parents are responding.
They're there. I mean, they're there for anything that we need. They're there. I mean, sets, flyers going out, somebody to run the concession stand, somebody.
So where do you do your performances at?
Loxley Civic Center.
So the Loxley Civic Center.
Yes.
And then what is the typical cost to come to a performance?
To come to a performance, it ranges from $5 to front row ticket $15.
Yeah, and anytime I go, we reserve the front row because it's awesome.
Front row.
So it's very affordable, right? Now, if there are children, adults, this isn't just a kid thing. No, this goes all the way through. Does. You have adults and everything.
We do.
So how would they go about, coming to the ACE and
we set out. We usually get out and start promoting our auditions.
Okay.
Pretty big. We just did one auditions for our Christmas show, which is Elf.
Elf.
Yes. So we do auditions. You come in, open audition. We make it extremely painless, and we kind of bring you back, let you do. If you've never done it before, we kind of walk you through the process and tell you what needs to be done. And if you've never done it before, we let you get through that process, and then through the semester, we teach you these things. We teach you these skills because. That's kind of what we're here to do is to teach you the skills that you need to learn in the future.
Nice.
And then for our students who return, then we expect you to kind of learn as you go.
And I heard you earlier, and I took a note here. You said it's a semester.
Yes.
So how does that work?
Usually we start a good semester for us would be about 4 months.
Okay.
4 months for rehearsing a show.
Gotcha.
And the cast puts in, and it's a cast and crew. Now we have backstage, we have stagecraft as well. So we have students who come in who only work backstage with us.
And there are opportunities for that as well, right? To learn and get some of the, like you said, you have a tech week and stuff like that. So media specialists or people that are interested in that want to learn, is that something that you would facilitate?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome.
So they would come in, and Eddie runs, and he focuses a lot of his design, and he heads up the costume design, and he does a lot. He's been involved in like the five project that was in Mobile, and he is also our music director.
Perfect.
And so I focus a lot on the construction and design. Set
so
design
who actually? Set design and building the sets and things. Who does that? I see you looking over here, and I mentioned before we had a guest because I've heard you say that your husband helps out a tremendous amount.
He does. Well, the set design is me. The set construction. He's like, no. We do the set construction together.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, do you sit down and sketch out an idea? Okay.
Yes. And Eddie and I both are very, very. We are very detailed in our design work, to the point like. We're like, don't touch our, it's very, but yeah, everything is usually within the first couple weeks, all detailed out of how we want the show to go. And then, we've, and some things we've had to learn, like to hand stuff off to other people to do, which has, been a process. He can attest to, but, a lot of the things, I come from a background where I'm used to doing a lot of the construction myself, so having to hand those projects off to other people has been a skill that I've had to learn and adapt to. But that's where Eddie calls them the ace up our sleeve, because that's where Aaron comes in and
perfect.
He kind of does a lot of that heavy lifting.
And it gives you, it does give you the time that you need to make sure you're doing your part and you can focus on that.
Yes, and for us to do our parts well, we have to delegate. And for us to be able to be at our best, we have to make sure that we delegate and do those things.
So we talked about where the need for the ACE came from and stuff like that. But why do you do what you do? Is it strictly because of the need, or do you enjoy working with developing the talent? I guess is what it would be called.
There are several reasons. Actually, I was saying we work very stressful jobs, and we have for 12, 13 years doing this type of stuff. Even though this is stressful, it's a different type of stressful.
So this is your outlet.
It is
from that, because as a victim's advocate, right, and then your husband is a police officer,
right.
So this can be an outlet to help with that.
It is, and then when you have a group like this and you start developing these relationships in a group, it's relationships that are unforgettable, and we call it our theater family.
Okay.
And we've started, some of our group has already started using these terms already within the first year, and we get returned students, we get and we have people now, children and adult, who come back time after time because they're like, I don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I love it. I want to see, I can already see, big things for you guys. We've been to a couple shows and sat in the front row. And like I told you, I grew up here and I left for 16 years and come back, and this is here. And we are loving this.
Yes.
I can't express how much it means to have something that I know is going to be huge start right here in Loxley, in the community.
Yes, and and I'm so excited at the growth of it. We started with Breland and Callie, two of our youngest in our competition group.
Sure.
Right now we have a competition group as well.
Oh, okay.
And they're two of our most dedicated students that we have, and we're at 33. When we cast this past show, when we cast Elf, our cast is at 33.
Nice.
So in 1 year, in 4 shows, we've had that growth, and that is just so exciting for us to have that stability and that steady growth throughout the year.
Yeah, I can see it. It's already bigger than just right here. It's already bigger, but it's so good. So you're already successful because you have a family. You balance the family. You have a steady job, and then you do this as well. You're growing a company, right?
Right.
Pretty much in your spare time, every minute of your spare time.
Yes.
So, talk to me about the path to success for somebody that's out there and they're just doing a job, and they may not be happy, and they have a passion for something like you have a passion for this. Kind of what would that path to success look like?
Don't when you have something that you're focused on, do not give up on that. There are going to be so many things that get in your way. Yeah. So many things. I mean, and there still are. We're a year into this, and there are so many hurdles that we are having to jump through, and so many days when we're like, I don't know if we can support this financially. I don't know if we can continue doing this. I don't know if we should do another show. I don't, and just.
But it's not just about
it's
you,
not.
Right?
We have passed that point.
Yeah.
Where we are now invested.
Sure.
We are now invested. We're now invested in our community, and watching the growth of this for other people. And if when you have a dream, or when you have a goal, that you have to decide. You have to decide if you're willing to do that, or if it's just a thought. And if you are willing to do that, to stay on that track, get up and go.
Just make it happen,
and
right?
do not stop. Yeah. Do not stop, because there's going to be mountains in the way. There's going to be hurdles, and you're going to have to get over them. They're going to knock you down time and time and time again, and it's going to be hard, but you got to keep up, and you got to keep going.
Every day, even for me, I mean, I go through the same things, financial hurdles, employee hurdles, family hurdles, balancing that time, and days go, this, but you could end the day here, or you could end the day here and start the day. I mean, it's going to go up and down, and you're going to have weeks or moments or days when you just feel like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to lead this company, or I'm not meant to be a leader, and you are, because you're the one who had the idea. You're the one who had this dream. Start on it, and once you get that momentum, it may slow down for a minute, but get up and go. Get up and keep going. Absolutely. Okay, so then let's go a step further. What would success look like in theater? So maybe for one of the cast members.
For one of the cast members. So for a cast member, what success is no doubt show night. That is the paramount. That is their success, is when they finish, when curtain closes on their show night, and they have nailed. They finish. That's when they have finished, and they have performed for their community, their parents, their audience, and they have done their job. What they have worked 4 months for, they get 3 days. To perform.
3 nights.
3 nights, and 4 months of 3 to 4 Saturday rehearsals, 3 nights a week. They get 3 days to perform it, and that is their success. Nice.
Okay, so you said it earlier, there have been hurdles and things like that.
Yes.
Was there a discouraging moment, or have you had something that has almost stopped you, in this?
Yes, and it was actually very early on when my momentum for this was, it was just getting going, and we're like, okay, we might be able to do this. This looks like it's going well. And we were getting to Tech Week, which is the hardest week of a show. Okay. Everything is so stressful. And when we started this partnership, we started with more than Eddie and I.
Oh, okay.
So when we started, and we had a drastic shift in the dynamic of our company, and it was during that week, and we were very unsure about how the future.
So essentially, I mean, you lost a partner.
Yes.
And any time when you go into something as a group, and then you lose a piece of that, I mean, it's impactful.
It is. It was very. We didn't know. We had several fears because we were very new, and we were worried about perception, and we were
Sure.
worried about, we were just starting to build relationships and, things like that with our parents, and we were trying to, make sure that everything was kind of staying strong, and we didn't know how this was going to impact the company, the totality of it, and so we were really nervous, especially when it happened.
Yeah,
the timing of it was
terrible.
Not
Tech week. You
good.
said
Yes.
that's typically the toughest week as
horrible.
it is, and then
Yes.
and then this happens.
And it shifted, and we kind of, we talked through it with our families, and Eddie and I both have, I think, the best families at home,
Sure.
support wise,
And
that
support
you
is,
can ask
is
for.
imperative.
And we kind of decided, we were like, okay, we can quit. I mean, we had two options. We can quit or get up and go.
Yeah, keep going.
And that was our two options. And so we decided, and there's a little bit of crying, a little bit of,
Sure.
deciding on what to do. And we stuck with it. And we have like a much stronger partnership than we had ever had.
When you endure something like that, it's
fantastic.
So we talked a little bit earlier about you being here, and I don't know that we clarified how you came to Baldwin County from Pensacola, though.
Yeah. Well, when I left law enforcement, I left law enforcement and then came to Baldwin County and started working for the Lighthouse.
Okay.
In 2011.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
After getting out of law enforcement.
Got you. Okay. So since you've been in Baldwin County, and heck, since I've left and come back, it's grown. And is there something that excites you, or maybe doesn't excite you, about the growth of Baldwin County?
Yeah. The growth of Baldwin County, it excites me.
Yeah.
And of course, I come from, the only thing I have ever done is serve.
Okay.
So serving my community, serving in a way that is, law enforcement, or in the shelter, that type of service, or serving as in teaching,
Sure.
teaching in the arts, that type of service. And with the growth and developing and all that, it's just, for me, it's more, and we're at the Lighthouse, we work in a way to put ourselves out of business. So our ultimate goal is not have people to serve, but with the prevention of it, it's more prevention, more people to get the word out there to, and, in the arts part of it, it's more, more people that we are able to reach and to teach and to serve and to spread our experiences to, because the more experiences we spread, the more memories they are able to have and to keep, like, we have from us.
So we talked about getting you out there and the growth. Obviously, more people means more eyes that could possibly be on you. So how do you market right now? How do you market the ACE? How do you get your information out there?
Right now, we have a large social media base.
Okay.
And we have, we market through social media. We have kind of a social media manager, things like that. We market through magazines, parent magazines. We do we've started doing fundraising.
Okay.
So we've stepped out to do community events. We did one over the summer, and we have another one set for October.
Which is
the Zombie Run.
The Zombie Run, and what's the date?
October 27th.
October 27th.
October 27th.
Okay.
And that is Loxley Municipal Park. We'll be having that one at the park, and that will be all Halloween themed, zombie pageant set up, trunk or treat, and it'll be a community event over there. All of the information is on our Facebook page, our website.
And what's your Facebook page?
The Ace Performing Arts Center.
The Ace Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
Go like that and follow them, because
and share.
they are going to do big things. And if you're missing out, you are missing out if you're not going to see their shows. So try to get the information, and like their page. Try to go to their next show. It is well worth it.
Yes.
I've been to a couple myself.
Our competition team is, we have a competition team. We have about 11 kiddos that compete regionally.
Oh, okay.
And they will be competing for a regional title in November.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so we are involved in American Association for Community Theater. We're part of that group.
Okay.
And with that group, we have a festival in Tuscaloosa that is November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and they are doing Little Women. And
nice.
So they'll be doing Little Women. They'll be performing it in Loxley the week prior as a fundraiser.
Okay.
So they'll be raising funds for their trip.
Okay.
The week prior, and all that information again will be on our website and or on our Facebook page, but they will be taking that to competition to compete for a regional title, and that will be our first. This will be our first competition for them. Yep.
Oh wow, that's got to be
they are
exciting.
Ecstatic.
So not only can people come watch your show just for the sheer enjoyment, but the people that are coming to be in the cast or potentially make the cast and things like that, they can broaden their horizons because you are a part of this organization that you just told us about.
Right.
Okay.
American,
and that makes an impact too. So they can come there. I mean, this is legitimate theater.
Yes, because we're competing, so we'll spend 3 days watching other community theaters perform and watching them and seeing how well they perform and kind of what they do and what their skill set are. And so they're not only learning from us, they're learning from other community theaters. They get to watch 8 performances, 8 one-act shows, and throughout the course of 3 days, and then they get judged on them, and they get judged pretty harshly on them.
Yeah, nice.
From their costumes to their performance to their set, and they're excited.
So
they're
there's
nervous,
a lot
but
more
they're
than
excited.
just the coming to Loxley and doing that part of it.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes.
Which is great. I mean, that's good to know.
Yes.
So bringing it back kind of to you, let's talk about. Do you have a morning routine?
Well, with 5 kids, we our morning routine kind of consists of chaos in the morning. Yeah. So we we get up very, very pretty early in the morning. We are usually up by 5.
Okay.
5:15. Our son gets on the bus pretty early. So he's the first one. So they kind of go in groups, actually. So 3 groups. So one gets on the bus, the girls get up. So we get the girls on the bus, then we have 2 teenagers, and then they are off to ROTC, and then they do ROTC in the morning, and then we pick one up, and then we have one that stays home, and one stays in high school, one goes to high school virtually, and so he comes home after ROTC and does his virtual school.
So it's just a mix. I mean, it is. Yeah, you guys are going a lot of directions.
Then I do avid couponer, so I spend a good bit of the morning doing coupons.
Listen, I've watched the coupon shows, and I need to learn how to get better at it because I see my friends do it and stuff, and I've never been able to successfully be a couponer.
It is. So. It takes a lot of organization and a good bit of time.
So, like, you're that deep into the couponer.
I am.
Okay.
A little embarrassing, but yes, I do put a lot of time and effort into it. But it's like another income.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense.
It's like another income.
I always forget ours, or my wife, she'll get on to me because I'll be like, I'm not using that coupon here.
Right.
Don't, come on, we can seriously, and so I definitely understand that. So how do you have a full-time job? Your husband has a full-time job. You have 5 children, and now the business as well over the past year. So how are you balancing the work and the family?
It gets rough sometimes because especially with we have 2 high schoolers, and
Right.
they are very involved in ROTC, and there's been some things that we've missed, which is not, not been great. So that has been an adjustment that's been a little bit difficult.
Which ROTC are they?
Daphne.
Oh,
Daphne
Daphne.
High.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And so that's been a little bit of an adjustment that we've tried to, divide and conquer. We've had to do that so many times of having to split and, take that. But we could not do what we do without doing it together.
Yeah.
Everything that we do, we have multiple calendars, and one thing that we bicker about all the time is it on the calendar? If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening.
Wow.
I don't care who you are, it's not happening.
Nice.
If it's not on the calendar.
Nice.
So he'll, we'll make plans, but his work, which he has put so much into, and in this business, which we do a lot of it together, which is great because at the ACE, we invite the parents in to stay and watch.
Yeah.
Which is something that is unique to a lot
You mean during the practices and things like that,
Yes.
during the rehearsals and stuff? Oh,
right.
okay.
Which is
Nice.
very unique because a lot of other places do not open up their facility to do that. A lot of dance centers, it's
Oh, I
kind
know.
of
We
closed.
Roma didn't like that idea.
Yes,
we
and
went
I'm
one
like-
place and they were like, "No, you can't come back." I mean, it was the
can't come
first
back.
time, and they were like,
Right.
"You can't come back." And
And when our daughter was in dance, they stopped us at the door and said, "See you
yeah,
in an
same
hour."
thing, and that
I was like,
affected
"I'm sorry,
Roma.
what?"
So no, that's good. It affected
And,
her. She's like, "I want to see you."
Right. I just want to watch her.
Yeah.
And we stood outside for an hour, and so we told them, we are extending this to you guys. Don't take advantage of it. And
Sure.
for a year, we have not had a problem.
Great.
And our parents are very respectful of that, and they have been. And until there's an issue, we're going to leave that open.
Leave that
so
option open.
if he wants to come to a rehearsal because we haven't seen each other in 3 days,
come
he
to
brings
rehearsal.
the
There you
kids.
go.
He
Yeah.
brings the kids and some dinner because there's been 3 days with just passing. It happened. So we have to make these things happen.
Nice.
Nice. When we can. So
all right, so we're getting close to the end,
Yeah.
and this is the part where if you had one message to give to the audience that's watching because they are interested in what you have going on, what would that be?
Interested in
the ACE and
Yeah.
the performing arts and things like that.
try it once. Everybody says there's no way I would do that.
We talk nervousness is a huge factor.
Even yes, and vice versa. We have some people who are behind the camera who've never been on stage, and some people who are on stage who, like me, get here and I'm like, huh.
Me too.
Like,
Every
I
show.
can't do this.
Right.
But on stage is different. We get up on stage and act
And
all the
there's
time,
nothing,
and
yeah.
it's completely different. And then we have people who, in Alabama, this is a big thing. Sorry, guys out there, this is a big thing. And I'm going to throw you under the bus. It's just in the South, and recreation and arts is not a big activity. I just encourage you to come out and try it. Just try it
No
one
doubt.
time and see if you like it. Aaron had never seen a live performance before we started dating.
Okay.
That was not acceptable in our home for my family, for anybody else.
Yeah.
So of course he had to come see it. What was the first show we went to go see? Was it Mamma Mia? I think we went and saw Mamma Mia. After that, he was like, "When's the next one?
There you go.
What's
Yeah,
the next thing that we're going to go see? What's the next thing we're going to go do?" And then we see Footloose, and we see, we branch out and we see
Nice.
these different things, and
Nice.
you're ready to see the next one.
Yeah.
You're ready for the next
No,
one.
it is
and,
awesome, and I take Roma like Cirque du Soleil and different
Yes.
types of things like that.
Yes.
it definitely is worth it to go watch
Yes.
a show. And then so for the cast members, you're just encouraging, come try
Yes,
it, come
just
watch.
one
Or
time.
can they come and watch a rehearsal or
Yes,
anything?
if you're on the fence, or if you just want to come see what we're about, I encourage you to come meet us. Eddie and I are there every rehearsal, and we would love to meet you guys. We would love to meet the community. We would love to show you around, put you up on stage. We got a lot of people in audition that way, because we're like, you don't have to, let's not, audition is hard.
Yeah.
That is the hardest thing that you're probably going to do, especially when
Okay.
you're getting started. So we skip that. Let's skip that this time, and let's work to that. And we kind of started on, back here, and then let's get to that stage, because we're not
Okay.
going to throw you
Yeah,
in. We're
it's
not going to throw
nerve-wracking.
you in
Yeah.
situations that you are not comfortable with.
Yeah, and some people, I mean, just not the nervousness, but like you said, just even coming into something like performing arts, and
Right.
because there's the mindset that you've got to have that flair,
Right.
personality, and
Yes,
and some
yeah.
people are like, well, I don't have that, so I can't do it.
I don't want to see people sing. But
Yeah.
it's a different environment. It's something that may not be in your comfort zone, or that you've never done before. But try it. It's a unique experience, and especially with the one that we are doing this for the Christmas season. Everybody wants something to do this Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something
Yeah,
to take their
absolutely.
kids to. Elf, if you haven't seen Elf, the movie, it's based off.
Is it really?
Yes.
See, I was hoping that
It
when
is
I
based
seen
off of
you, first
that.
publish it, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, this is gonna.
That's
this is
what
gonna be-
that's what the storyline is. It's very similar to the movie.
Okay.
Big Elf, and it is
So
hysterical.
when is that one? When is that?
December 14th, 15th, and 16th at Loxley Civic Center.
14th, 15th, and 16th. I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna be there.
Yes.
Reserve our tickets.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how can they purchase tickets? That's
Yes,
important.
you can purchase tickets through the website, through Facebook, or messenger us. We have a line, phone line up. You can call us. It is a reservation line, so it will send you straight to the voicemail if you leave a message of what tickets you want.
Yeah.
Then we will call you back and reserve your tickets.
So is there something they can look at to know where they're going to be?
Yes.
Seating?
That should the seating chart is up.
Okay. It's on your Facebook page, on your website too?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is on the Facebook page and on the website. All you got to do is pick out the seat you want and call and reserve it, or message us and reserve it, and we will have your reservation down.
Nice.
And then we usually do PayPal to reserve it, or pay at the door, whichever one.
Okay, so they can just walk in and pay at the door.
Yeah.
That's an option as well.
It is an option.
Now, and then you usually have some sort of small snack
We do.
there as well.
We have
popcorn or
concession
something.
stand. Yeah, we have a full concession stand. So we usually have candy bars. Candy bars set up. I think we did cotton candy, and we're going to do that again. Popcorn set up, drinks, water. We have a pretty good concession stand.
Nice. Okay, and that's important.
Yes.
Okay, so the ending questions. All right. Do you have a favorite business book?
When I read books, I usually am focused on a lot of books by women business leaders.
Got it.
Kind of like Robin Mead or Rachel Hollis from the Hollis Company.
Okay.
I love reading books from them. Of how, kind of like their struggles,
Sure.
what were their struggles and what did they have to, because nobody gets to where they're at without falling down.
No doubt.
You just don't. I mean,
Yeah.
you just don't do it.
And in business, you can't be successful without those struggles.
Right, right.
You learn and you become resilient from it.
Yes, and watching these ladies and watching and reading, some of their books, and it's empowering to and of course I'm all about girl power.
Well, this is empowering
and
to the audience that's going to see it. So, this is going to be phenomenal for them.
So I love strong women, and I love reading about strong women. And so listening to their stories and listening to how they got back up and listening to what they did to overcome, it kind of helps me stay focused in my career and in my business and it keeps me on my track and keeps my momentum going, of watching and reading about these women in their businesses.
Okay.
Whenever I...
Got it. So if you had to pick one of them, a favorite CEO or a leader or,
let's see, a favorite CEO, favorite leader. This is a little cliche. My favorite CEO is my daddy.
Okay.
My daddy has run his company since his own company since my oldest son was little.
Okay.
And
what is it's?
He has always run a light construction handyman type company. He runs Bay Area air duct cleaning right now, and he and I worked with him. I was a single mom right before I went to the police academy. I was a single mom, and I worked under him in a handyman company, which is kind of where I got all of my
there you go.
All of my experience with construction and in that field. But he is so dedicated, and when we were growing up, he worked 16, 18 hours a day. Sure. So many long hours. Even when we were in the theater, he would swing in, to see us, and that drive and that dedication and to keep going and keep going and keep going, he there's not many that can even come close, and and there was never many that could ever touch him. And then I got married to Aaron, and so these two leaders, my dad and Aaron, I mean, they are such strong men. And that's who I go to to lead our family, and that's I look to lead. And I take their integrity and I take their sacrifices that they sacrifice for our family, and I implement those values in running the business. And sometimes it's not good, and sometimes it goes a little bit too far. I know he's laughing at me right now because it does. Sometimes he's just like, really? And it does. Sometimes it goes just a little bit too far, and I have to rein myself back in. He has to rein me back in just a little bit. But that sacrifice, it's just not many people, in my opinion, come close to the level of leadership.
Shout out to dads and husbands that make it happen, and and that's phenomenal. So, do you have any hobbies? I mean, I would say. So, is there something you got work and you got performing arts? Is there something else that you get to do that you enjoy?
Outside of the family, I love being with my family.
Okay.
So I love being with my family. We go visit my brothers and stuff, and outside of 5 kids and 2 jobs and
that is your hobby. Okay, I got
kind of that's kind of it. But it's enjoyable, so it's a good thing.
Got you. So favorite food?
Oh, sushi. We
Really?
have to have a sushi date at least twice a month. We send the kids to school. And we just...
Do you have a favorite?
Darumas. We do. And we've tried many others, and they don't. And it's just not good.
It's not. Okay. All right. So that's your spot, huh?
Yes. One place in Jacksonville was compatible, but we would have to drive to Jacksonville. So...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So last question, and that is, where is your favorite place to go in Baldwin County?
And I thought about this one too, because I was like, I don't know if we have if I have a favorite place in Baldwin County. I'm all over the place. Like I don't think I sit still long enough to have a favorite place in Baldwin County. But then I was thinking last night and on the way over here, like 2 or 3 times a week, we will take our lunch, and we will go to Boudreaux's. Okay. Not go to Boudreaux's, no, but we will go to Boudreaux's and we will pull up in the back parking lot and overlook the bay.
Nice.
And just sit there and talk and eat our lunch and decompress and relax overlooking Mobile Bay. Right in Boudreaux's parking lot. And I know that is kind of out there and it doesn't make much sense, but that is kind of a relaxing,
that's nice,
quiet, and it's almost like a drop off, so it's a little bit scary at times. But it's really that's kind of our spot.
Nice. All right, I'll remember that next time I go to Boudreaux's.
Next time we drive by,
you'll be like,
that's it. That's our spot.
No, awesome. Okay, so thank you so much for coming.
You so much.
I'm glad you came. I've been to a couple of your shows. That's the reason I knew I had to get you on here, to get you out there, because to me, people, if they don't know about you and your company and Mr. Eddie and what y'all are doing, they are missing out. I can't say how appreciative I am for my children to be able to go and watch that show.
We're excited, and our ultimate goal is to have a true community theater here, where there is no finance is not an issue, but in order to do that, now I'm going to shout out at you guys. In order to do that, we have to have sponsors.
Sure.
So I'm going to take this time to say, if you have any sponsors out there. Go to our page to click on the link that says sponsorship form, because we would love you guys if you know of any sponsors that would enjoy sponsoring a nonprofit. We are a nonprofit, by the way, in case I didn't say that. We are a nonprofit community theater like this. To get this going, our goal is to take any of these financial things out of the way and not have that be, and have it be a true community that people can just come out, enjoy, be a part of, and that not be an issue for anybody at all.
Perfect. All right, so thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being the behind the scenes person and obviously one of her favorite inspirational people or leaders. So next week we're gonna have Cody Hitchcock. He is the assistant vice president and the branch manager of United Bank here in Loxley, and he's gonna talk to us about banking and some of the initiatives that United, which is a community bank, and that's the reason they're coming on, what they have going on. So until then, thank you.
Bye.